Why I will always love Doctor Who. Believe me when I say, I have watched 100 TV shows from beginning to end. I watched Avatar Last Airbender back when it was first airing. I have survived series that go on far too long, like Supernatural. And I have seen so many animes be regurgitated as though copyright laws never even existed in the first place. But nothing, absolutely nothing, has ever gotten me to feel so intensely as Doctor Who. For instance, I remember when, so long ago it was, that my mother pulled out Christopher Eccleston's first series from our library's adult DVD section, gave it to me, and told me I'd probably like this one. Good call, Mom. Very good. It must have been around 6th grade when this first happened, but I still remember that moment. I'll admit, I wasn't immediately enamored with it given its slightly cheesy effects, but there was something so endearing about it that I kept watching, and watching, and watching, until Bad Wolf happened and I lost my shit! I had never been surprised by a plot twist like that. And then Doomsday happened. I never cried at a TV show like that before. And then more and more things kept happening. More companions, more regenerations, more tears. And speed up to now, after being able to finally watch it live for the very first time, only to say goodbye to 13 and the Power of the Doctor. My hearts are so full with love that it hurts. God, it really fucking hurts. But the joy is worth the pain. In a show where everything changes, how could I have become so attached? How could I have gone to the point where I will always watch and love Doctor Who, no matter where it or I am in our lives? I have quite a few theories, and I'd like to share them below. And don't worry, this is mainly spoiler-free, because that's how serious I am about this topic. So, I guess here's a fairly in-depth advertisement for Doctor Who? Or a love letter to it? I don't really know, but here we go. Geronimo. As far as I can tell, these aspects are what make the show. For me, anyways. Its lasting impact, its writing, its music, speeches, and acting, its cinematography, and that feeling of looking forward to whatever comes next. For its lasting impact, there are 3 of which really stick with me. Its emotional impact, its moral impact, and its real-life impact. Emotionally speaking, Doctor Who is rife with opportunities to make the audience cry. Anytime I think about how Rose, Donna, Clara, or really how any of the companions left the show, I feel a visceral pang in my chest. But, just as Doctor Who can deliver this serious sadness, it can deliver so much more. It can be silly, funny, joyous even. Because, as the 13th Doctor says in Power of the Doctor, goodbyes only hurt because what came before it was so special. It is such a well-balanced show, making jokes in the face of danger to distract the audience or even the companions from that upcoming devastation it carries. Especially in Moffat's era, where the dialogue is so snappy and witty. But even under different showrunners, writers, leading actors, Doctor Who still balances what's important. The people. That's how it can always remain to be a cohesive story with such a beautifully crafted emotional impact. Another impact this show garners is one of a moral sort. Doctor Who began as a family show, meant to teach kids about history, and, by proxy, the ability to see what needs fixing in history, and therefore in the present. In modern Who, it builds upon this purpose by building upon its brilliant characters. The Doctor reinforces that intelligence and empathy are what leads to true peace, not weapons, or superpowers, or the decimation of what one perceives to be their enemy. Plus, you don't have to be perfect or a good man to achieve this peace. You can be a clerk, a nurse, a temp, a school teacher, a student. Anyone really. Any of these companions. Anyone. You can be a mundane little human, but you're still important. You will have an impact on this world, especially if you have the opportunity to travel as a doctor. But if not, these morals can carry on to audiences that grow up with a show like I did, and it teaches you that it's okay to be a quirky, good-hearted weirdo, to understand life isn't black and white, and that we may never understand everything, but that trying, and trying to be kind, is the only thing we can do. Doctor Who does more than reach our hearts and our brains, for it can reach into our lives as well. Yes, there's a whole community of Whovians out there where people can discuss and discover wonderful things together. But for me, someone who has always been too shy to get involved in social media to the point where I've never even commented on a YouTube video, Doctor Who has been a touchstone for many of my personal relationships. It's been a safe place for my mental health to cope, a safe topic to broach when meeting new people, and it's just always been there for me. And always will be there. And I have made my absolute best friends because of this show. Doctor Who brings us together, which is why this theme of the fam is so reinforced in the show, and it's one of the reasons I'm so grateful this show exists. Now, if Doctor Who is able to carry such an impressive impact, what enables it to do so time and time again? The writing! Even after 60 years of production, making Doctor Who the longest-running sci-fi show in the world, the writing is what allows it to thrive in any era. That's because it can constantly surprise viewers by changing genres, twisting plots, and showcasing diversity. And when your team of writers are literally able to have any old adventure in time and space, you best bet they're taking full advantage of that. In particular, Doctor Who has the ability not only to go anywhere and do anything, but to actually change its own genre every week. It can do horror, drama, rom-coms, even spy thrillers. When a show has the ability to change genres, it deepens the audience's understanding of what type of characters they're dealing with, strengthens whatever the thematic statement or story arc of that series is, and best of all, it can continue to surprise the audience by never limiting itself by what came before it. This means that there's something for everyone, and that Doctor Who can continue to remain true to itself, regardless of the writers or the focus of the episodes. However, the focus of these episodes often contain a small episode plot twist or a huge series arc plot twist. The small episode twists are often fun and offer real-world commentary, but a series arc on Doctor Who always feels absolutely insane. And I promise no spoilers, so I'll be vague, but just know there is one twist which legit took 7 years, or 6 series, to carry out, which was the identity of River's song, and it wasn't even the main plot point when it was revealed. These plot twists are where Chibnall, Moffat, and Russell T Davies shine, because the audience can ascertain how much setup misdirection, expectation subversion, and secret-keeping had to happen for these twists to work. Again, back to the identity of River's song, only Alex Kingston, the actor who portrayed her, knew her character's identity. And this is so cool, but the film crew didn't even know she was revealing her identity until the cameras were filming it. When a show goes to that amount of effort, with that big of a payoff, how could one not enjoy being thoroughly confused by and excited to see plot twists such as this? Furthermore, Doctor Who characters are more than series-long mysteries or cookie-cutter formulas used to write exposition and comic relief. Each companion to the Doctor very much has their own identity and can represent so much for their community. Doctor Who started as a trendsetter way back in 1963 by having a British Indian man direct it and having the first female producer for the BBC for it. But it has continued to grow since. It had an homosexual man kiss both the Doctor and the Doctor's companions way back in 2005. It had its first black companion back in 2007. Its first reoccurring on-screen lesbian alien couple in 2011. Its first bisexual companion in 2012. Its first lesbian and person of color companion in 2017. Its first female Doctor in 2018, which solidified how the Doctor is actually non-binary, only to have her first Indian companion admit their love for each other by 2022. Wow, that is a lot of firsts. And now we get to look forward to even more diversity with the casting of the new Doctor and new companions. This show is constantly embracing change, just as the Doctor tries to, because it knows it has so many other firsts to make, and it has made itself a space for all. This show brings me so much hope, knowing that it will continue to innovate for years to come and inspire others like me to figure out why certain characters speak to them. Spoilers, it's because I've been queer all along. Anyways. Even if Doctor Who's writing changes drastically with a new showrunner, the impact of it can still be felt via the musical score. While the 13th Doctor's era favors atmosphere, other eras of Doctor Who like to favor the epic. Under the composer Murray Gold, Doctor Who Series 1 through 10 had everything. Individual themes for monsters, companions, doctors. Anytime I heard 11's I'm the Doctor or 12's Am I a Good Man, I knew something epic or clever was about to happen. And if a companion's theme were to play, instant heart warmth and heartbreak. Music is a great way to clue the audience in on what to focus on and to provide nudges as to what the writers want them to feel. And Doctor Who is a master at that. For instance, and without spoiling anything, I might add, I'm trying so hard. In the scene where the 12th Doctor agrees to let Bill keep her memories and travel with him, his previous companion's theme haunts him as a way to show his struggle between the responsibility for his companions' lives and the yearning to share the universe with someone who just gets it. By adding that layer of music onto an already incredible scene, the music elevates the show by telling a part of the story we can't always see, but which we can always feel. However, sometimes there are moments where there is no music or even a need for music, because the acting just takes you away. In a sci-fi show, it's easy to get carried away and become unbelievable, but the intensity with which the actors play the Doctor keeps the show grounded. Even though every Doctor has a somewhat different personality and every actor understands the role differently, how the character acts is what binds one era of Doctor Who to the next. This narrative journey of grief and growth is made stronger because It's played differently every time, which is why the speeches the Doctor gives can encompass so much history and so much hope. And oh, those speeches! Don't get me started, I could do a whole video essay on them! But I'd be remiss if I failed to mention that the main character of the Doctor is only made stronger by the acting of their companions, because these companions are the audience's eyes and ears and hearts. And I absolutely love how Doctor Who breaks the convention from the acting industry by giving these massive roles to relatively unknown actors, which allow these actors the opportunity to shine, subvert expectations, and tell their own stories. This also grounds the show, but elevates the acting, storytelling, and the impact of Doctor Who overall. Finally, the last technical reason to adore the show is its cinematography. To watch the show grow from having cheesy effects to having a 90-minute special with the most amount of visual effects shots in Doctor Who ever, it can be quite a journey. But regardless of effects or era, the directing of the show is what holds it together. So instead of me geeking out over the incredible effect the directors Rachel Talalay or Jamie Magus Stone has had on Doctor Who, allow me to show you. After all, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and directors are in charge of using those pictures to their utmost ability. So, let's see what beauty they've created, shall we? Just seeing that framework reminds me how excited I am for Rachel Talalay to come back to direct. Because that's the thing about Doctor Who. It balances the old with the new, the cheesy with the spectacular, the joy with the pain. Even if it drops the ball on certain elements of the show, the other elements pick up the slack, ensuring each episode is quality enjoyment. I guarantee it. I really do. In a show where everything changes, its impact, writing, music, acting, and/or directing, isn't one inclined to see what will change next? Isn't one intrigued by all the possibilities? I mean, is anyone else excited? Because I'm really excited. Because at the end of the day, outside of an analytical understanding, Doctor Who gives me something to look forward to for years to come. It makes me so happy, and it could for you too. Just look at the comments below if you don't believe me. And also, people who love Doctor Who, please leave comments below so I'm not fucking crazy here. Because we all love this show, and we want you to become a part of it. And we welcome all new fans and all the new changes to come. Thank you for listening to me. I know it was a lot. Bye.